I'll be very honest with you guys. When I uncovered the evidence that I'm using in today's video, I was completely shocked. For many years, especially down in the comment sections of a lot of videos, people were writing, trust the plan. It's all about the plan. Have faith in the plan. Most people just use that as somewhat of a verbal pacifier, but now we have found that there is evidence that there truly was a plan going back all the way to 2015 for the last 8 years and for the coming 8 years between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Now, some might scratch their heads at Florida Maquis. They weren't working together. There's no way. They didn't like it. I think it was an act. I think that Joe Biden and Donald Trump saw a much bigger enemy on the horizon that America didn't want to face, and they decided to come together to formulate a plan to defeat it. Because when you look at the behavior of the left now, the hardcore progressive left, they are completely at a loss for words to explain what happened. But I think I know what happened, and I've got proof for it. So many people for the last 4 years thought these two were buddy-buddy. It was all a show. It was all fake. And we can tie it to this map. Now, that's as far as I can go on YouTube, unfortunately. There are still the powers that be who are in charge that don't want you knowing the real truth. But unfortunately, they can't stop it now. But they can redirect it. They can't stop it, but they can redirect it. And in this particular case, over to the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. Now, we just, breaking news alert, put up a brand new video only about an hour or so ago over there, and it's for everybody at every level. 1, 5, 10, 15. It's a 22-minute video that breaks this down completely about what really happened. I know there's a lot of people that want to say, well, the silent majority finally woke up, and that isn't what happened. That is not what happened. When you go look at the voting totals, in a great many states, Donald Trump didn't get very many more votes than he got last time. But something happened over on the left. Something happened over there, and I think we can tie it directly to Joe Biden. I know you wouldn't want to think of him as an ally or a friend after the last 4 years, but I think it was a plan. Because not only did the left's candidate lose, their issues lost. And that's a much bigger problem. Now, God bless all of you. Thank you, everyone who's joined us over at the Patreon channel. Love to have you over there. Like I said, there's 4 levels, 1, 5, 10, and 15. This one is for everybody. This is for the entire crew over there, the Maquis Foot Soldiers, the Need to Know Roundtable, the unit commanders, and the brigade commanders. Guys, you're going to want to see this because I think it's going to inform the next 4 years. Now, I know a lot of people were almost completely ready to leave the channel. They were so sick of me talking about this 3-season series on USA called Colony. It was one of my favorites, but it went off the air back in 2018. It was 2016, 17, and 18, if I'm not mistaken. Those were the 3 years. It might have been 15, 16, 17. I think that's when they shot it, but it's been off the air for a long time. They stopped it after 3 seasons. But the strange thing about it for those 3 seasons is that the creator, Carlton Cuse, called virtually everything that we are seeing now in late 2024 and late 2025. And in this video, I'm going to show you now the top 7 things that are now in the mainstream media and the mainstream population consciousness of America and the world that were foretold 8 years ago. At least 8 years ago, if not more. Now, the first one, right off the bat, you have a bunch of people, the aliens have arrived, and the entire population is being controlled by drones. The entire population, all of their behavior, everywhere they go, everything they do, curfews, all of it is being controlled by drones. Has there been anything in the news lately about drones at all? Controlling people's minds and fixating people and keeping people looking up in the sky all the time? And the hardest part of it is that people then, the government needs to tell us the truth. The government needs to come out and... This is item number 1. Faith in the government. Men who trust power tend to have short life expectancies. Eric Broussard, actor Tory Kittles, from the series Colony. The idea of drones being the fixation of everybody's daily life and people wanting and trusting government to tell them the truth about it. A little ridiculous. How many of you remember the story about 15-minute cities? Stalinist dystopian prison, or somewhere quite nice to live. It's called a smart city because if they called it a concentration camp, you might not want to live there. 15-minute cities. Number 2. Guess what went on in Colony? The aliens came down and dropped down walls and divided everybody into little tiny areas that were strangely about 15 minutes across. Here's a screenshot of a prop from Colony. A screenshot of a prop from Colony of a 15-minute city. And here, lo and behold, in Utah, in 2024, 2025, here is the virtual identical layout of the 15-minute city in Utah. 2 things. Right off the bat, that they virtually got identically correct years apart. What about a certain minority group of people calling in the authorities on another minority group of people to have them rounded up and deported? Yeah, that's happening in America right now. There's a certain group of people out there who are minority and now want another minority deported. And then rounding up people who are allies of those people and detaining them and questioning them indefinitely. Is that going on in the modern day America? This is number 3, by the way. Is that going on in modern day America? Number 3 item. People snitching to the feds and having mass roundups and deportations. All these pictures you're seeing here? Colony. Colony, number 3. Number 4. Ridiculously unqualified middle managers and yes men running the government on behalf of much more powerful people. Number 4, ridiculous middle managers, highly unqualified, running the government on behalf of much more powerful people. Yes, this is a screenshot from Colony. There's an entire subplot about how what they call the authority was put in charge of the planet. The aliens came first and found all of the middle managers, all of the yes men, all of the easily manipulated, and got a list and put all of them in charge. Number 4, deep underground military bases. In Colony? Yep. How many of you have seen any stories about what goes on in deep underground military bases? It's number 5. Number 6. People raiding warehouse stores for basic survival needs. People raiding warehouse stores for basic survival needs. Number 6. This is a screenshot from Colony. Going on in real life in modern day America. And the last one we've covered before, but we're going to cover it again. Married couples sitting across the table from one another, having a discussion about her having to perhaps do things that she's not quite so proud of to pay for prescriptions, to pay for bills. The OnlyFans world, anyone? The online world where this is all monetized now, not just for the elite stars of that industry, but for average, everyday housewives, millions and millions of them across America. These are screenshots from Colony. The wives, because they don't attract as much attention, engaging in sometimes borderline criminal behavior in order to bring in the things that are needed to keep it going. Number 7. And I guess this is kind of a bonus. Number 8. Number 8. The way to control a democratic society isn't through fear, it's through distraction. Everett Kynes. Once again, a character that uses AI. A character that uses AI and sophisticated computer modeling to predict winners and losers on the internet. A guy who puts together an algorithm, to predict winners and losers on the internet. This is actually a bonus one, number 8. Pretty amazing that they got all of this right. Now, this isn't one that I necessarily counted, but if you're going to be successful in life, in any business or enterprise that involves people, it's the idea of knowing what a man wants or a woman wants. What motivates that particular person? Peter Baelish, Game of Thrones. You know how to move people when you know this. And that brings us all the way back. All the way back to Patreon, where we talk about this. Understanding the human mind. If you don't understand the human mind, you won't be a good car salesman. You won't do good in marketing. You won't do good in anything that has to do with people. If you want to start a business, you better know how to get people to say, you know what, this brand new business I've never heard of before, I'm going to spend my money on it. That takes knowing people. Trust me, this is the great place to start. $1 a month for military level psychological operations training is a bargain. Hundreds of videos going back many, many, many years talking about this. Love to have you over there. So real quick, we'll go through them again. Drones controlling daily life. 15-minute cities already mapped out. People of one minority group calling in the authorities on people of another minority group to have them mass deported and detained, and their allies. Ridiculously unqualified middle managers running the government on behalf of much more powerful people. Deep underground military bases. People raiding warehouse stores for just basic survival needs. And of course, the whole idea that just your average everyday housewife has to now go involve herself in an industry to just keep life going and afford medical care for their kids. And as a bonus, online algorithms that look at every possible aspect of your life to pick winners and losers. All in Colony. Every bit of it in the series Colony that was only on for 3 seasons. Either the guy was a time traveler, or he was a savant. Or, perhaps it was a plan. And I'll leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.